Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Also in the Zoom. Uh, oh, okay. So like this. Okay, looks like a cat. Oh, owl. Yeah. So take a moment to settle ourselves in the present moment, both body and mind. Using the tools of placing your focus on the breathing and withdraw all the scattered thoughts in the past matters or future matters, including of this very present moment. The minds are, scattered towards many other thinkings. So placing your focus on the breathing, able to settle in the present time, and very much to few thoughts, or at least prepare thoughts for the teaching, prepare mind for the teaching. So then we recite Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra together. So while reciting it, try to reflect on the qualities of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, the kindness of turning the wheel of Dharma, so that we have correct knowledge to learn and a correct path to follow. That way we can able to eradicate the samsara and actualize liberation. And also think of the kindness of the Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, manifesting in Guru's form, timely, while we have this precious human rebirth and revealing the Dharma. And blessing us to stay under the perfect care of the Guru. Steadily keep ourselves on the right track of being in the practice, never giving up, even whatever samsaric challenges that comes in our way. The inspiration that inspire by the Guru. and also think of the value and the kindness of the Sangha community, the Dharma community, where inspire each other and bring immense of opportunity to cultivate practice of the path together, such as the having Dharma discourse and the moral support that gets from each other, and the inspiration that gets from each other through their individual practices and the commitments towards the cultivation of the Dharma. Then also feel the presence of all the 10 direction Buddha Bodhisattvas. And refresh one's refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And on the basis of that, generate altruistic motivation for rest of our existence, especially this very life, and especially for this very year, this very month, this very week, and this very day, and especially for this very session to be most meaningful, even though it is actions of one individual of yourself, but then through this altruistic heart, that you can able to bring benefit of the merit that you accumulate to rest of the numberless sentient beings. So having that understanding, then express this altruistic attitude from depth of your heart. Yeah. Zo. Sanje Jodan Zoji Jonala Janju Badu Dani Jazunje Daji Juji Jibe Zonamai Dola Benje Zanje Dubarai Jo Sanje Jodan Zoji Jonala Janju Badu Dani Jazunje Daji Juji Jibe Zonamai Dola Benje Zanje Dubarai Jo Sanje Jodan Zoji Jonala Janju Badu Dani Jazunje Daji Juji Jibe Zonamai Dola Benje Zanje Dubarai Jo Kangi Duzene Zone Dawa Dam Jibam Bejere Dam Bejune Dunzemba Godam Dena Jaze Lo Toni Ninja Zondo Juve Lam Zeje Zeje Kanji Dendege Chana Bemo Denzin Jazola Zoan Devzo Da Ju Shinje Lo Okay, thank you. Yeah, so today the subject is how to approach Lamrim in study and practice. So I'm thinking for the morning session, maybe we can discuss on how to approach in study, and maybe afternoon session we can discuss briefly about how to approach in practice. So something like that. Yeah. So Lamrim, yeah, it means gradual path, gradual path. So gradual path, Lamrim for what? Gradual path to what? So gradual path to all the virtues, all the way up to the perfected virtues of enlightenment. Gradual path to all the wisdom, all the higher wisdom, up to the wisdom, the perfected wisdoms of the omniscient one. Gradual path to bring about eradications of all the flaws, all the faults, including of the entire silent existence and obscuration to nirvana, obscuration to omniscient. Then no question about the obstacle to fall us into the lower realms. Gradual path, gradual path to actualize meaningful human life, meaningful our life, to bring meaningful of our this very life. Gradual path to bring meaningful rebirth in future lifetimes, such as actualizing higher rebirths, either another rounds of precious human rebirth, where you can continue to cultivate the Dharma, or being born in the favorable realms of God and demigods, realms, pure lands, Buddha's pure realms. Gradual path to actualize three kind of liberation. Liberation from entire oceans of samsaric existent through the liberations, through cultivations of the hearer's path and actualizing hearer's liberation. The gradual path to actualize the solitude realizes liberation. Gradual path to actualize the bodhisattva's liberation, which is the state of full enlightenment. It is a gradual path to accumulate all the right and perfect causes from temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. So, and gradual path, the path which is the antidote to all the sufferings, all the limitations, to all the negations. So that is called lam-rim. So that's the lam-rim. So the source of the title, the lam-rim, even though it appear very much very much from on the time of the Tibetan Buddhist traditions came into inception. In particularly this lam-rim, that very title, very much pronounced by Lama Tsongkhapa. It's about 600 years ago. But the actual meaning of the lam-rim, even though whether carry the exact title lam-rim in gradual path or not, it exists as long as Dharma exists, as long as any Buddha's teaching exists. So entire Buddha's teachings is lam-rim. What Buddha taught is taught lam-rim, gradual path, gradual path for the gradual path to liberation, gradual path to enlightenment. All the teachings of the great Indian Pandits, all those teachings, all those treatises are lam-rim teaching. All the great Mahasiddhas, the Tibetan Mahasiddhas, great earlier Kadamba masters, later Kadamba masters, all those teachings are also lam-rim. It's all a gradual path to liberation. So then why specifically compile one particular text and that label as a lam-rim, like such as Lama Tsongkhapa, why label as a lam-rim? Because of the extensiveness in the teaching, extensiveness in interpretations of the Buddha Dharma, and there's so many teachings that which is needed to interpret even some of the terms that he used during Buddha's time in those of the sutras. Very difficult for today's time for people to understand easily. Then there are so many teachings as interpretive teaching that which is so difficult to illustrate its meaning. So therefore, then also not everyone has a time, enough time to do, extensive philosophical studies. Not everyone can dedicate entire their life in rigorous study, and especially there are so many of the Dharma presented in a philosophical way, and those are not easy to be interpreted. It requires extensive, philosophical trainings and philosophical studies. So therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa keeping our time of people in his heart, since 600 years ago, up to now and in future times, keeping the fortunate beings that who will come in contact with the Dharma in his heart, especially keeping the 5 degenerated times of human being. So he compiled the 84,000 Buddhist teaching into this concise, complete, easy understanding, very structured, and which contained the flavor of philosophy, a flavor of training, the lojong, the mind training, a flavor of the pit instructions, then definitely very structured manner. Even how limited wisdom that we may have, even how limited time that we have, as long as you aspire to know Buddha Dharma, aspire to travel towards liberation, then if you refer to the lam-rim treatise, then you just follow word by word, page by page, chapter by chapter. You don't have to kind of jump here and jump there, from different chapters. As long as you start from the first page, then if you carry on, completing the entire text, easily can able to comprehend the entire Buddha's teaching. Even if you don't have much of the philosophical training to understand the Dharma, but then when you look into lam-rim, Lama Tsongkhapa already done all the homework for us, those critical philosophical terms and philosophical interpretations, in a very easy, easy in wordings and easy in his commentaries of those quotations that he take from philosophical treatises, for us so easy to understand, and within very short period of time, or just studying, just one volume. In Tibetan there's one volume, so in English, in translation, there's 3 volumes, and there can be many different versions of translated text. So as long as you study the whole lam-rim, you very much get all the benefit that you study the Buddhist teaching through the philosophical channel. And if you study the lam-rim, you also get the very much benefit of studying the lojong teaching, the mind training, the tradition. then of course, you get to learn very structured way, not to hop on and off. You get to learn, structured way like that. You see, so and the lam-rim teaching that Lama Tsongkhapa composed. Yes, he has inspiration in his heart, as mentioned earlier, keeping the degenerate times beings in his heart, but it is also an instruction of Manjushri. Because Lama Tsongkhapa during his lifetime, he received most of the critical understanding in Buddha Dharma, like such as on emptiness, etc., and providing pit instruction, direction for Lama Tsongkhapa to engage in certain like practices, like preliminary practices, like such as the story that Lama Tsongkhapa was instructed to go into retreat to purify karma, accumulate merit, to realize the emptiness directly. So those very important, essential, necessary practices are directed or instructed by Manjushri himself. So even the compositions of the lam-rim is very much direct instruction of Manjushri. So Manjushri instructed, Lama Tsongkhapa to compose this lam-rim and prophesied, it's going to be extremely beneficial, illuminating, the path to so many beings in the degenerated time, like that. So here, this is in relation to Lama Tsongkhapa and the Gelug tradition, which is the from the four major Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the last one, and also the three tradition, such as Sakya, Kagyu, and Nyingma, also has a lam-rim, such as Sakya, Lamde. So Sakya Lamde is a Sakya lam-rim. Then Kagyu Tapotagye is a Kagyu's lam-rim. So Nyingma, Kunsan Lame Shalung, the perfect word of the teacher. So this is Nyingma lam-rim. So then again, the purpose of composing this different, composing lam-rim in this specific by this specific tradition is also similar reason why Lama Tsongkhapa composed, lam-rim. And such as all the lam-rim, and of course the Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching, the lam-rim, is very much the source, beside Manjushri's direct teaching. Buddha Manjushri is a direct teaching. The source very much goes back to the great Indian Nalanda Pandit, such as Lama Atisha, who is the crown jewel of the Nalanda Monastery University, the first university, such extensive university, not just for Buddhist study, but the study in all different fields. In the one of the earliest, very much the earliest university in the whole this southern wall. There may be many other conventional universities, but even comparing to that also, the Nalanda universities are the earliest one. And Lama Atisha is the crown jewel during that time. There are top scholars and practitioners. It's like 500 over during that time, and Atisha is the top in both scholarly as well as the holding of the lineage and also living in the practice. So Lama Atisha, the importance of the Lama Atisha, unlikely than the other great master of the Nalanda. Lama Atisha hold the lineage from the the two major the source of the authentic source of the Buddha's teaching. Buddha's teaching has to be derived from Buddha, the enlightened one. Buddha's teachings cannot just be the composition of any individual's smartness, this scholarliness. Not like that. Buddha's teaching has to be source all the way up to the enlightened Buddhas. That's the way you authenticize Buddha's teaching. So Atisha carry the two major lineage of the profound lineage and extensive lineage. The profound lineage, he trace up, through Selingba, the great master in Indonesia, Lama Selingba. Then Shantideva, then Nagarjuna, and all the way up to Manjushri. Then the extensive lineage, trace back to Selingba again. Then Asanga, then Maitreya, all the way to Maitreya. So, so because of that, then also the circumstances that Atisha, migrate to Tibet after himself accomplish all the trainings and realizations on the stages of the path. Then, in his senior age, he traveled to Tibet, which is around 11th century. Then in Tibet, his hard disciples, like such as Changju, then of course also the inspiration and requests and aspirations by the great earlier Kadamba, Tibetan Kadamba master like Geshe Dromdamba, etc. So the main disciple who directly requesting Atisha to compose a teaching that is complete, but then concise in its wordings, and also not the meanings are not no need to dig through extensive philosophical observations. It surfaces very easily for ordinary people to understand. So then there Atisha composed a Lamb on the Path, Changju Lamdun, Lamb on the Path. So the Lamb on the Path, the teaching, is the source of all the lam-rim of the four Tibetan great traditions, including of this Lama Tsongkhapa's lam-rim. Then the Changju Lamdun, that what Lama Atisha composed, the source is the Buddha's own teaching, the Kanjur, about 200 volumes, or the collections of Buddha's teaching, which contain of the three baskets of the teaching, the Vinaya teaching, the Abhidhamma, the teachings on concentration, Abhidhamma, then teachings on the wisdom, the Madhyamika, like that. So So the Atisha's composition, is based on the the three baskets of the Buddha's teaching. So like that. So now, as far as concerned with the Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim, there are, many, quite a number of texts. The great lam-rim, middling lam-rim, small lam-rim. Then also lam-rim, the lam-rim teaching that he put down in writing for our benefit, the experiential, the songs of experiential lam-rim, lam-rim nyamgur, we call lam-rim nyamgur, the songs of the experiential lam-rim. So he write down the way how he practiced the lam-rim, the way how he cultivated the lam-rim. So the afternoon teaching, if we have enough time, if I'm not distracted with my blah blah blah, then maybe we can, maybe I can just read through that text. So that the experiential, the songs of the experiential lam-rim by Lama Tsongkhapa is the way how we should practice the lam-rim. Yeah. So there are small lam-rim, such as the foundation to the all good qualities. Yonten Shijurma. It's just about one page. So short. It's about one page. And anybody, easily can memorize. Especially, you're all very, very smart. You already have a great training from high, conventional education. So very easy. If you just choose to memorize it, that's it. One morning, 1 hour maybe. So that is also, how to integrate lam-rim, the entire path, into meditation. So traditionally, we use the foundation of all good quality, the small lam-rim, as a glimpse, as a guideline to the glimpse of meditation on entire path. And if you, if one happened to pass away after doing glimpse of meditation on entire path, based on that one page text, it regarded that that you have fulfilled your your precious human rebirth, the meaning of the precious human rebirth, and you carry the benefit of the imprint of the entire path to your next life. So that much benefit, and it is so easy. Verse by verse, you have a glimpse just by reciting. If you recite within 1 minute, you can finish, and just reciting clearly, you're able to reflect verse by verse the entire path. So you meditate like that. So maybe I will. So then you see. So you just take about 5 minutes of your time in day-to-day life, and you recite that text. Do a glimpse reflection on, glimpse planning the seat of the entire part by reciting the whole text. Then, if you have more time, so as I mentioned before, maybe it may take just 1 minute to finish. Okay, let's say, give 2 minutes. So 2 minutes to finish the whole part as a glim meditation on the entire part. Then after that, the next 2 or 3 minutes, then you just, take one verse, say the teachings on Guru devotion. And for today, you dedicate 3 more minutes to have a more dedicated, meditation on the first topic of the lam-rim, Guru devotion. Then tomorrow you do the same thing. Then tomorrow you dedicate the second verse on the precious human being. Then third day, then after maybe within 1 month, you may able to do extensive meditation on entire lam-rim, both glim as well as focus meditation, using that text, you see. So this text is very much Lama Tsongkhapa designed to mean for this, for us, you see. So like that. Then this such as a middle-length lam-rim is very similar to the great lam-rim, but then it has its own specialty. When you study middle-length lam-rim, it is still so beneficial to study great lam-rim. If you already study great lam-rim, lam-rim chemo, it is still so beneficial, so beneficial to study middle-length lam-rim. If you study both, and it's so beneficial to study the small lam-rim. Even if you study all 3, it's so beneficial to study the songs of the experience on lam-rim by Lama Tsongkhapa. So the way of composition has its own charm to really enhance our practice, our understanding on the lam-rim. So like that. Yeah. So now, so how to approach the study? Or maybe we stop the session here. Then, yeah. So anyway, so like this. So of course, yeah. Our lineage gurus, and I myself try to teach as much as the topic on lam-rim as possible, and I of course not everybody have so much time to study great lam-rim, but I seriously encourage to at least read the great lam-rim, even if you don't have opportunity to hear the detailed commentary, but just read. Even just reading, it is very easy to understand. Then of course, then you may say, oh, if it's easy to understand and just reading is enough, you may think like that. But then if you get opportunity to go for commentary, then of course, unbelievable. Then again, one may realize that I didn't understand at all after I read, But if you didn't get a chance to receive commentary, then just reading, and you may think, oh, I understood everything. And it is also good enough. If you really don't have time to do, extensive study with the commentary on lam-rim, then just reading it is already, good enough, and you will understand a lot. It is very, very clear like that. The main challenge comes is the last 2 chapters, the chapter on shamatha, and shamatha also not that difficult. But the main struggle one may face is on the wisdom chapter, the emptiness chapter. But then again, the commentary to those philosophical, quotations that Lama Tsongkhapa used in the lam-rim, in the short commentary by Lama Tsongkhapa himself, is already good enough, for us to apprehend the much understanding that we require. So like that. So yeah. So one text that we should always carry along with us, or keep at your bedside, or on the coffee table. And nowadays, I think no need to worry about physical text now. Everything is PDF file. So your iPad. But then the first thing is the lam-rim opens up. The lam-rim, the great lam-rim text. So very much. I mean, we become quite a culture now that we cannot be separated from iPad and phones, smartphones, and it's good. Okay, and it would be so meaningful if we put the great lam-rim as like somewhere, somehow, when you open your this smart gadgets, that lam-rim text somewhere, somehow appears to you and make you read. Could be just one line, or maybe just one page, before you go to bed, and when you are just relaxing around your coffee table, or just while you are flying, or whenever you feel like taking break from samsaric responsibilities, then read the great lam-rim, the lam-rim, and word by word, page by page, just read. Whether certain area, if you don't understand, doesn't matter. Just read it, then move on. Don't stuck there and don't give up. Just move on. It will be very much like it will be one of the best food or the supplement to make both your body and mind feel good day to day. Whenever you do that, if you make a habit of that, it's like suddenly, even if you feel tired, you feel so so refreshing. You see, then the refreshment is a sustainable refreshment. It is lasting refreshment. It's very, very yummy. Wonderful. You see. So then before go to bed, you will just happen to read just one line, just that one line. Maybe you didn't understand at all. It doesn't make any sense. Just read one line. It carry the blessing. It's like a magic. It's unbelievable. You will let go everything that which is not beneficial to you, and you just settle in the present moment and enjoy your warm bed, comfortable bed. Or if the bed is still cold, then maybe you start to feel the warmness. After you read lam-rim, you feel, well, okay, now it's quite cold, but now the heat coming up. Then it's really going to kind of like you go to sleep with a sense of fulfillment, that the sense of feeling, oh, I have accomplished my meaning of life. I fulfill my meaning of life. Like that kind of, it's really, it's, if you do that, you will realize by yourself. It's not a magic, but it carried that blessing into this text. As I mentioned before, it is a blessing or instruction by Manjushri, Buddha Manjushri. Then Lama Tsongkhapa himself is emanation of Buddha Manjushri. Lama Tsongkhapa is emanation of Guru Pema Sambhava. So Lama Tsongkhapa is emanation of the three great deities, Yametaka, Chakrasambhara, Greya Samaja, you see. So it's enlightened being, who manifests into a human form, and with the skillful means of the Buddha, then he himself went through manifestations of going through the training, then bring this composition, and it is a best gift to us. And Lama Tsongkhapa, I mean, can you imagine if you have even 1 minute time with Lama Tsongkhapa in person, how would you feel? You'll be bliss out, isn't it? You'll be completely affected by his blessings. Our wisdom may tends to increase. Our merit may tends to increase. Our purifications, the obstacles may happen. If you happen to, it's like just seeing him, hearing him directly. It really is like a consuming, nectar. It really extinguishes the flame of our negative emotions and the suffering. That kind of power. During his lifetime in Tibet, it happened like that. The majority of his earlier disciples are, it's a senior and great scholars, like such as even like Kyabje, Gyatsamje, his true disciples. The Gyatsamje is from I think Sakya tradition, from the earlier lineage of the Buddhism before Lama Tsongkhapa even established Gelug lineage. You see, and they are like top great practitioner and scholars in Tibet. And even those his later hard disciples were his opponent before, were his challenger, debater. You see, and the moment they directly face Lama Tsongkhapa and listen to him and be with him, and completely melted their heart. And they become the hard disciples. So the main proof here, his two hard disciples, Gyatsamje and Kyabje, they are the main proof. You see, so now Lama Tsongkhapa said, when I pass away, when my physical body is normal, exists in this world, then if you know lam-rim, if you be with the lam-rim, then there's no different you are being with me, knowing me. You see, even if I exist physically, I have nothing more to relate to you than the lam-rim said. Even I'm physically existing, I have nothing more to share with you more than what I've shared in lam-rim. I have nothing more to impact you with a blessing than what I can deliver that from the lam-rim. You see, so you see, seeing lam-rim, knowing lam-rim, practicing lam-rim as equal as you are completely being with the Lama Tsongkhapa life. You see, so that much that's said by himself. He prophesied. He said that. You see, so like this. Yeah. So now, how to approach the study? So that whatever said is, it's one of the idea how to approach the study. But if I elaborate a bit more, through the treaty itself, then first, of course, whenever we study Buddhist teaching, first thing is we need to authenticize the teacher, through tracing the lineage, which is so important. The main reason is the Dharma that you're going to pursue, its main purpose is for blessing, not intellectual knowledge, blessing. Because blessing is the one that bring about the path, not the intellectual knowledge. You see, so therefore, the blessing here is referring to the lineage, the unbroken lineage that channel, to that teacher, then can be traced all the way up to the enlightened Buddha, like what the example illustrated, the authenticity of Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching, like Lama Tsongkhapa have a direct lineage from Manjushri, then he also carry the lineage through this teaching to the earlier Katamba masters, starting from Geshe Dromtempa, then to Adisha, then to the profound lineage and extensive lineage, like that. So, like in today's time, like, we can, if you receive teaching from like Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, so their lineage, can trace back like that all the way up to the Buddha, like that, So that's why in the great Lamrim, the very first is to learn about the authenticity of the teacher. Then the second is to learn about the authenticity of the teaching, not just a teacher, but the teaching. And also the authenticity of the teacher, where you can also, understand through the qualities of the teacher, that which we discussed briefly on the other session about the Guru devotion. So we need to receive teaching from the teacher who is qualified, isn't it? Then the authenticity of the teaching, that which I discussed already before, trace back to the Lamb on the path, and then to the three baskets of Buddha's teaching, like that. Then learn how to listen the teaching. You see, so the Buddhist teaching has a certain manner to listen the teaching. You see, otherwise may not benefit greatly, even you receive authentic teaching. You see, so in short, learn the teaching, learn that it was a listen to the teaching as a pure container that are going to receive the pure nectar. You see, so ourselves, the attitude, not like leaky pot, not like upside down pot, not like filthy pot, So Dharma can be so precious, the teacher can be so precious, the lineage will be so precious, but then from your side, if your heart is not opened, you still still carry this very stubborn, what do you call the, stubborn belief in, some philosophical views or culture views, or your own ego, have a certain kind of that you only want to listen what you want to hear, not what the teaching has to teach us. We want to hear the way that which pleases your heart, and the teachings, Buddha's teachings are sometimes can be very nasty, nasty in the sense that it really tell all the truth about ourselves. It kind of bring you total transparency, and like person, ignorant person like me, is completely, influenced by delusions and completely, wrapped by the ropes of karma, like that. So, but then our ego, our ignorant kind of have a very pure view about ourselves, perfectionist, everything's right. But then when the teaching revealed, then it's very much revealed all the negativities in us, the flaw in us. Is very much the Dharma is the tool to let us recognize our flaws, recognize those negations in us, so that applying the antidote can able to purify those negations, those impurities, isn't it? So without knowing the flaws, how to purify the flaws, isn't it? So therefore, if our attitude is not opened, then the Dharma cannot benefit much. You see, then also need to listen. Need to listen the teaching, not just partial teaching. Try to listen complete teaching. Study complete teaching, not just study partial. You see, then also not to practice partial, practice complete teaching. I see. If we just learn partially, listen partially, practice partially, then it's very much like a leaky pot. Leaky pot. Maybe some stain may be there in the pot, but then most of the things, even how much you hear, it just go away. It doesn't sustain. Of course, there are other ways to illustrate it. If you read the Lamrim, there's other ways to illustrate. Means that you need to listen, attentively. It's talking about that, but I want to interpret a bit different way here. If we, so like that, because if we don't listen, if we don't study the complete Dharma, then we cannot bring the complete benefit of the Buddha's teaching. You see, like such as if you study only sutra and don't study tantra, just alone sutra cannot fulfill the entire purpose of Buddha's teaching, which is to liberate sentient being to the ultimate liberation, which is enlightenment. You see, if we listen only the teaching that provide full of virtue that will cause, good life in this life, it's not good enough. That is steps. It's a steps of teaching, but not complete teaching. You see, because that doesn't fulfill Buddha's purpose of the ultimate purpose of Buddha's teaching. Then even if you learn the only Hinayana path, but don't learn Mahayana path, you only listen and study Hinayana path, even you're able to achieve Hinayana liberation, freedom from all the self-existence, but that didn't fulfill the whole purpose of why Buddha taught the Dharma. So we need to study Mahayanic Dharma. And just studying Mahayanic Sutrayana is not good enough, because that able to progress us in a high level of path and bhumis, even up to the 10 bhumi. But then there you're stuck if you don't have the teachings on the tantra. You see, so like that. But then if you only study tantra but you don't study rest of the earlier teaching, then it's very much like constructing a roof without foundation and the pillars, like that. Then it doesn't. The path won't be stable and complete. You see, so we need to have the openness, readiness, enthusiasm to study the entire teaching, and that we can understand as carrying a not leaky pot. So then the what do you call, the pot that upside down. Then of course, how much nectar you pour, it won't go inside, isn't it? So that is like completely get distracted with worldly concerns. Just only be busy with our worldly life, busy with our worldly responsibilities, but never never training our heart in the path, and never giving time for Dharma studies. Then because the life is not just this very life, because life has a continuum beyond this life. If life is only for this life, then okay, just take care of our worldly responsibility and be happy is good enough. But since the longer journey is still remain, after this lifetime onward, and what really benefits for the longer journey is the Dharma practices, not the worldly concerns. You see, so therefore, like having the heart or providing time, to study Dharma, contemplate on the Dharma, and meditate on the Dharma, and always, have a heart to integrate Dharma into our worldly responsibilities, our conventional responsibilities. Learn the Dharma and take all the Dharma tools into our conventional life and responsibilities. Taking the Dharma as a guideline, as a motivation into our normal life. So then that kind of human being is very much like the ripened container, which is properly set up like that, clean, not leaky, and also widely opened, and ready to receive everything, all the benefits of the nectar. Yeah. So so very much then learn about that. Then after that, the one of the most important subject, in learning Dharma and the actualizing the path and the spiritual practice is the practice of Guru Yoga, the practice of Guru devotion. Then that's the subject that one very much must learn before learning the main path, which is the lam-rim path of the three capable beings. To learn about learn about how to actualize Guru in your life. You see, because without the Guru, then without the qualified Guru, we cannot progress on the path. Without the qualified Guru, even on the first steps, when you go to learn the Dharma, there's a danger of learning mistaken information, mistaken path. There's a danger, isn't it? Yeah. So therefore, we need to learn about how to find a correct teacher, qualified teacher. So then in the subject of the Guru devotion, there's a teaching that we should learn the benefit of having Guru in our life. Then disadvantage or the advantage of having Guru in life, and disadvantage of not having Guru in our life. Learn. We must study that. Then how to after you find the qualified Guru, advantage of having guru in life and disadvantage of not having guru in life, then the characteristic of the guru, you should learn, what kind of characteristic the guru should have, that which we, discuss in the guru devotion teaching, to learn about all those qualities, such as the, Maitreya's, Mahayana Sutra, mentioned about 10 qualities, and then during the teaching I've discussed, Lama Tsongkhapa also mentioned, if you, in today's degenerate time, it's quite difficult to witness the entire complete 10 qualities. If you cannot find a teacher who carry 10 qualities, then at least someone who carries 7 qualities or 5 qualities or at least 3 qualities, such as, someone who is well moral discipline, someone is, well training in concentration and thoroughly pacified. It says discipline, serene, and thoroughly pacified. These 3 words are used in the Maitreya's word, and also Lama Tsongkhapa used in the Lamrim. Then Lama Tsongkhapa also specifically, beside mentioning these 3, but it also, mention another 3 kind of quality. That one is the moral discipline. At least someone who is moral disciplined. Then someone who is knowledgeable in the teaching, knowledgeable in Buddha Dharma. Then someone is compassionate. So minimum these 3 qualifications should be intact in the teacher, so that teacher, you can able to commit yourself as your guru and yourself as a disciple. So then not only that, the Arya Devas, 400 stanza mentioned, Lama Tsongkhapa quoted in the Lamrim, the Arya Devas 400 stanza, the qualification of the student, qualification of the student, the 3 qualifications, one should learn about that, and one should equip those qualifications, like such as non-partisan, then wisdom, then perseverance. These 3 qualities are mentioned, isn't it? So again, on the last session, I've discussed about what it means by non-partisan, meaning that your purpose of learning Dharma is nothing to do with, this lifetime's concern or worldly concern. Your purpose of learning Lamrim, your purpose of learning Dharma is solely for absolute liberation. Especially we are coming from Mahayanic environment, Mahayanic student, then our ultimate goal is to achieve a state of full enlightenment for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, enlightenment, solely for that purpose. So we learn about all this. We have to learn, we have to be very clear about this. Then after that, then you learn about how to rely on the guru. After you find a qualified guru, then how to rely on the guru. Again, as I mentioned that time, in the guru devotion session, there are many ways to establish guru-disciple relationship after you find the guru's quality, after yourself also carrying this student's quality. Then on that basis, then you receive even one word, a transmission of one word, Om, establish guru-disciple relationship with that teacher, or receiving transmission of Om Mani Padme Hum, or even receiving commentary explanations of what Om means. So in the teaching they illustrate as a syllable Na, but it's it can be anything. It is simply meaning once you ready to establish guru-disciple relationship with someone, then receiving one instruction, that will that kind of like certified, like kind of signature, the guru-disciple relationship. Then through receiving initiations, through receiving commentaries, through receiving oral transmissions, through receiving vows, precepts. So these are the pathway where you establish guru-disciple relationship. Then there are certain special or special ways, rare but could happen, such as the ripened disciple, the qualified guru pick up ripened disciple, saying that, okay, you are my disciple, right? Just pointing out, the disciple don't know anything, but then guru says, okay, you are my disciple. So then that, there's also such a way. Then that from the disciple side, guru never show any aspect of that you are relating that teacher as your guru, but then you naturally feel from depth of your heart that you feel the connection with this person just by even seeing that person, hearing that person, even just hearing the name of that person, you get inspired in your Dharma practice, inspired to renounce samsara, inspired to follow the path, inspired to work for the benefit of sentient, inspired to become Buddha, you see. So just by even hearing the name, you see, never interact before, never knew before, never listened teaching from that person before, just coming together like that, So these are the very much, the conditions are very much accumulated from the past lifetimes, and it happens, like that. So it's learn about these different possibilities that you may find your guru like that, Then after that, then learn, after you establish guru-disciple relationship, then how to progress the path on the basis of that is through relating the guru in thoughts and practice. So the detailed teaching on that we will discuss on the next session on guru devotion. So we put aside there. Then, so basically, in short, see guru like the tantric treatise, the requesting initiation from Vajrapani, say how should one view your guru? And then the Bhagavan, replied, the Buddha replied, you should view how you would view the Buddha. How should I view the guru? That's the question. Then it say you should view like how you would view the Buddha. So like that. So that's very much like cultivating the practice in thought and in the action. Then again, there are so many statements from the tantric treatise and sutras. In short, is a serve the guru that what pleases the guru. Like that. Then Milarepa says, I have nothing material kind of things to make offering to the guru. The best offering that I can able to make is my practice, and that is the best offering. That's the best gift, best service that you can offer to your guru in action is living in the practice of Dharma, and so like that. So just so we learn about that, such as teaching on 50 Lama Ngapchupa, 50 verses, teaching on Guru devotion, and such as the teaching on 9 attitude that we are studying, and then of course, thoroughly study what Lama Tsongkhapa give detailed teaching on Guru devotion. And the first chapter, the teachings are also very much, based on the, of course, based on this 50 verses, etc. Then the 9 attitude is very much composed by Lama Tsongkhapa's disciple, based on the teachings of the Lamrim, the Guru Devotion chapter by Lama Tsongkhapa. Then there are many, tantric treatises from all over the tantric treatises, taught about the teachings on Guru Devotion. Then in the sutric teachings, in the philosophical, treatise, taught extensively on, how to relate to the gurus, So, of course, if we learn Lamrim detail, it's already good enough. But then if you wish to expand even more learning, then very much you can find from all the treatises on the teaching. So like that. Then after that, I think in Lamrim Chemo, there's also section. Oh yeah. Okay. Before going to that, then the Guru Devotion. After learning all this, then good to adopt. Certain concrete practices in relation to guru-disciple relation, in relation to practice of guru-disciple relationship, to bring the maximum blessings and benefit in relation to the practice in relation to guru, which is the guru yoga practices. Then there are such as Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga, such as Six Session Guru Yoga, such as Lama Chöpa, the how to say, manual practice that designed by the enlightened ones for us. The Guru Yoga practice, one of the most extensive ones, Lama Chöpa, the Guru Puja practice. So that's one of the most extensive practice. If you realize Lama Chöpa, you realize enlightenment. Like that. If you realize Lama Chöpa, you have realized wisdom of emptiness directly. If you realize Lama Chöpa, you realize, absolute Bodhicitta. If you realize Lama Chöpa, you realize Dhammakaya. You see, if you realize Lama Chöpa, you get perfected in all this practice of six paramita. You see, so and it is a very detailed manual, and for us, so fortunate that in our centers, at least in twice a month, have opportunity to practice that, and it's very, very important to come together to practice. Try best to come together to practice. Mainly especially for the initiated, high Sukhitantri initiated, the Lama Chöpa is a commitment. In fact, it's a daily commitment. Lama Chöpa to be practiced daily. It's a daily commitment. Those who have received Yamentaka initiation, Vajrayogin initiation, Heruga initiation, Goya Samaja initiation. In fact, Lama Chöpa, on top of Six Session Guru Yoga, Lama Chöpa is also is a daily commitment practice. So then for the Guru Puja, also those who are not initiated one, they can participate. They can participate. They can learn the tune. They can at least focus on the lam-rim practice. There's a half section of the Lama Chöpa is meditation and practice on lam-rim. So you can, your focus be there. Those who have not received initiation, and those who have received initiation, there are extensive tantric meditations be done, such as self-generations of the deity, etc., like that. Then those tantric initiated one, you can adopt Six Session Guru Yoga as your Guru Yoga practice. Then if those who have not received any of this initiation, at least you can adopt Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga to strengthen your guru-disciple relationship. And there's a Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga text. And Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche make it so easy to follow. You can use that text. So that way, you see, you receive, unbelievable benefits, immeasurable benefits in relation to your guru, not just receiving teaching, like lecture, not just that, or not just receiving initiation. But then once you establish your main homework is do the Guru Yoga practice. So that means whether the Guru teach or not, whether Guru initiate you or not, whether Guru is with you or not, whether Guru is living or already passed away, you are always inseparable with your Guru, and receiving the benefit is through Guru Yoga practice. So like that. If not, at least recite Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga mantra. Seeing your Guru oneness with the Lama Tsongkhapa. Then they are visualizing Guru on your. Okay, this is a part of the practice, but okay, no problem. So they say, you learn. You learn. I try to stick with my. Talk about the study part. So anyway, so you just read the Guru Yoga, Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga, then there's you will learn to receive the benefit of 7 wisdoms. To receive the benefit of Guru's blessing. Guru residing on the crown, Guru residing on the throat, Guru residing in the heart. Then there you also make a you will learn. Just through one verse, you will learn very clear. Just follow the word and meditate like that. That's it. You see. Then how to make inseparable Guru, never departing from your heart. Then living a life in Guru Yoga practice, meaning living a life you being inseparable from Guru. How amazing that would be. You see. So that means all your actions are Guru's action. All your thoughts are Guru's thought. All your speech are Guru's speech. All your physical actions are Guru's action. You see, and whatever you do, you actualize the merit. How the Guru will actualize, the enlightened merits. Merits through enlightened activities, because Guru's activities are the enlightened activities. So very much like you are. Using the most powerful tool of the Guru Yoga practice to receive the greatest benefit of the merit that how Buddha would accommodate. Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable like that. So like this. Then in Lamrim there's a section talk about meditation. Then learn about meditation. You see, and the best text that you can learn about meditation is Lamrim Chemo, the great Lamrim. You see, as a Buddhist, as a Buddhist, as a Tibetan Buddhist practitioner, we cannot how to say hang in between or satisfied with just the title meditation, because now the meditation is very much like is like more available than the candies in the supermarket, like everywhere. Say I also do meditation, here also got meditation center, there also got meditation center. I also teach meditation center. She also teach meditation. He also teach meditation center. It's almost like everywhere. There's one place that I stay about 3 years in Australia. Every single corner there's a meditation center. And there's so many meditation corners. And sometimes you are naughty monk, so you pick what they're teaching, how they're teaching, what is this about. And sometimes, and many of meditations are to get some space out. Just get some relaxation. Just get away from, get away from some level of stress that we have in our life. It's all beneficial. It's all really, really beneficial for our life. especially for the stressful, day-to-day working, family life, etc. But just that alone is not beneficial. Meeting Buddha Dharma, just that alone, if we stay contented just like that, and then Buddha's purpose of revealing the technique of meditation to us is not fulfilled. Then we cannot receive the maximum benefit. You see, we have the potential to receive the maximum benefit, but very much we choose not to. So if we lost that opportunity while having this precious rebirth, it's like losing everything in your life like that. This is like losing the greatest thing in our life. So therefore, Lamrim Chemo, if you learn detail, about what is the characteristic, what is the definition of meditation, and how to meditate, what kind of meditations out there, you see. So you use those tools as your meditation guide. So these are very important to learn. Then after that, actually maybe the Guru devotion subject maybe comes after that. So anyway, then after that, then you kick off to the teachings on three capable beings path. Of course, entire Buddha Dharma is taught for the three capable beings path. Three capable beings: small capable being, middle capable being, high capable being. Lamrim is very much the manual, guideline for the three capable beings, for three capable beings to practice the path. The main theme of the teaching is the teaching on three principal aspects of the path. The renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness. So and for the three capable being, the capable being based on the ambition, the capability of the courage. Is very much the capability of the courage and the mainly the capability of the courage and inspiration of the individual bring the division of the three kind of beings, three capable beings. The small capable beings, courage and inspiration. Courage is to practice very minor virtues, very minor, very foundational dharma. Then inspiration is, or the courage or inspiration is to walk on the path to actualize freedom from the three lower realms, being born in the three lower realms, and actualize higher rebirths in human and gods. So the middle capable beings, the ambition is to actualize nirvana, absolute peace from samsara, absolute freedom from the control of karma and delusion, and samsaric existence, samsaric aggregates, by purifying the entire six realms. It is so slightly more courage than the earlier one. Now here, have the courage to even overcome the samsaric existence of the higher realms, like human and God. And as far as concerned with the courage and the enthusiastic, the practice is slightly greater virtue. Greater virtue. Then the higher capable beings is not just working for one's own individual liberation, but work for the benefit of the absolute liberations of the entire numberless sentient beings, and that also absolute liberation, the greatest liberation, which is full enlightenment. The courage is work for all beings, every being's ultimate benefit. So from there, you define the three capable beings. So you learn the definitions of what means by three capable beings. Then look into oneself, in which category I falls into. You see, which category I fall into, you know. Then based on that, then you start your journey of, living in the path, practicing the path, practicing the teaching. You see, if you realize that, oh, my inspiration, my courage is very much similar like the higher capable being, then that doesn't mean that you don't study the teachings of the middle capable being and small capable being. And then we need to study, we need to know that the earlier capable beings path are the foundation, the gradual foundational path that needed to be learned and needed to be practiced in order to develop the higher capable beings path. So you see, that is like that. So if you feel that your courage, your inspiration falls similar to the heroes and solitude realizers, such as the Hinayana path, then not just like, okay, I just practice this. No, this is my main focus practice now, but then I need to learn, I need to practice the small capable beings path as a foundation, and I also need to learn and practice higher capable beings path for me to progress from the path that I'm going to practice now, which is the middle capable path. So then that way, you adopt all the lam-rim, and entire teaching of the Buddha become lam-rim to you, the gradual path to you. Some are gradual path as a preliminary practice. Some are gradual path as a resultant practice, including the tantra, like that. So you learn about that and then design the entire Buddha's teaching like a structured way for oneself to to accomplish the practice on the path, like that. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Sorry. Non-stop talking. Boring. Okay. So hopefully soon finish. Before lunch break, I try to finish. I will try to speed up. Okay. So now, then you see the three. Whether you are at the small capable beings path or medium or the higher, each level has a three principal aspect path. And the main part that we need to learn is the three principal aspect of the path to that level of practice or the practitioner, like you see. So an example, small capable beings path, the renounce, the three principal aspect path. First one is renunciation. So renunciation here is renouncing the three law realms existent, renouncing this very life's limitations. Then you aspire the higher capable beings. Aspire, higher rebirth, a higher virtue in the higher rebirths, in higher realms. More meaningful life in next life. You see, by adopting the teachings of the small capable beings path, like such as refuge. You see, such as refuge. Then such as karma. So the main path for the small capable beings path is training in the practice of refuge. So there you learn well about Buddha's quality. Try to establish faith and conviction in Buddha through reasoning of knowing Buddha's qualities. So you learn, Buddha's qualities, such as, major and minor marks of the Buddha, all the enlightened benefits, all the enlightened benefits. Then learn Buddha's life stories, Buddha's previous life stories, like Bodhisattva stories, like Jataka tell, like that. From there you will learn, immeasurable lifetime, like such as Shakyamuni Buddha, have worked so hard. Then eventually, he become Buddha. And then after he become Buddha, then, he carry this enlightened quality like omniscient. So you learn what means omniscient. What is the benefit of having omniscient? You see, and then what is the benefit of becoming Buddha? So the benefit is like turning the wheel of Dharma. So learn about Buddha turned wheel turning of Dharma, and you are the one of the proof that who have benefited by enlightened, the enlightened quality or Buddha's benefit, isn't it? You are one of them. You are a product of the Buddha's benefit, isn't it? So learn about that. Then there are so many great Mahasiddhas of the India, so many great pandits of the India, like such as Nagarjuna, Atisha, such as great Vedant masters, Mahasiddhas, like such as Geshe Domdamba, Lama Tsongkhapa, etc. Up to today, like his son Dalai Lama, how much we admire him, how much we admire Lama Zopa Rinpoche, all your spiritual gurus, how much you venerate them. All are product of Buddha. You see, all are because of the Siddhartha actualized Buddhahood, and he, bless us, bless the world with the Dharma, and all these great beings are the result of that. So learn about that. Then, and you are, you may be, maybe at the last role or wherever it may be, but you are eventually going to be similar like this admirable Mahasiddhas, the gurus. So learning about Buddha's quality and Buddha's benefits and Buddha's blessing, then try to practice. Try to practice the refuge. Taking Buddha as your refuge. Or then Dharma. Learn about the benefit of emptiness. Learn about the benefit of bodhicitta. Learn about benefit of great compassion. Learn about benefit of renunciation. Unbelievable, isn't it? Then, like our gurus, like Lama Zopa Rinpoche, His Holiness, they are living example of living in the practice of six paramita. Living in the practice of morality. They are very much the source of peace and happiness of the world. It's so clear, isn't it? And not only that, yourself, if you didn't meet Dharma, you will have a totally different kind of life, and because of meeting Dharma, wow, you can say, okay, well done, boy, or well done, girl. You're not too bad, you're not that bad, you're quite good, and all these are the result of Dharma, result of Dharma, following the Dharma instruction, isn't it? Then you submit yourself. Okay, Dharma is my guide. Take refuge in Dharma. Then the Sangha, can imagine if we are mixed with those who, gangsters, those who, do war, harming other, we have friends in the circle of people always talk about compassion, always talk about respect, always talk about, inspiration, enlightenment, want to do beneficial deeds for others. Unbelievable. So knowing that, then, wow, I must submit myself under the refuge of Sangha. So even knowing the benefit, certain example, benefit from the conventional refuge object, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, like such as holy object, even just having the holy object in your house, the Thanga, the statues, how much inspiration that you receive. Just having the text able to read, how much inspiration you receive. Just be among Dharma brother sister, how much inspiration that you get, benefit that you receive. No question about relying on the ultimate Dharma, the Buddha himself. Ultimate Buddha, the Buddha himself, the Dharmakaya. Ultimate Dharma, the wisdom of emptiness. Ultimate Sangha, the Arya beings. Can you imagine how much benefit we are receiving it? You see? So through this reasoning, learn about this reasoning, then submit ourselves completely under the protection of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, you see, and then live a life accordingly. So that fulfill the purpose of small capable beings' aspiration, and that is what he means by living in the path of small capable beings' path. And there, it is element of renunciation, as I mentioned before. It has an element of method aspect of the path and wisdom aspect of the path. So the method aspect of the path from now on, be more kinder person, be more ethical person, like adopting the 10 virtues practice, abandon 10 non-virtues, adopt the 10 virtues, then practice of like 5 lay vows, you see, the practice of by practice of refuge vow, like, the essence of refuge vow is, if you cannot benefit others, at least refrain from causing harm to others, you see. So these are the attitude, attitude. The second principle aspect of the path. Third principle aspect of the path is the wisdom. Then, practice more selfless, less ego, you see, less grasping, and being more harmonious, with others, being more harmonious with your own rest of the other emotion. Like, be harmonious with your virtuous emotion, your virtuous practice, like the 10 virtues, you see. So this is the wisdom you carry. So 3 principles apart, like that, you see. So therefore, learn about the refuge, then learn about karma, learn detailed teaching on karma, you see. When you learn detailed teaching on karma, then you will learn there's a definite existence of past life and future lifetimes. Without learning detail on the karma, we won't able to establish the definite understanding of absolute existence of the past and future lives. We may have believed because someone says so, Buddha says so, but if you corner yourself, is there really next life? You say, oh, okay, I need to think twice. Not like that, you see. So, but when you learn detail on karma, especially relying on the Abhidhamma teachings of the Lamrim Inye, the spiritual brother of the Asanga, the Abhidhamma. So especially if you expand learning, when you learn Lamrim, you try to also learn those treatises that which teach more detail on karma, like such as treatise on Abhidhamma or the commentary to the Abhidhamma, etc., like that. Then you move on to learn the middle capable beings path. Again, the adopt the 3 principal aspects of the path. The renunciation is renouncing the entire 6 realms, renouncing the karma, renouncing the delusion, entire delusion, renouncing the existence of the entire 6 realms, you see, and aspire to actualize whichever path you follow. Either follow Hira's path, if you are comfortable with more community level of practicing, then you choose the Hira's path. If you prefer more solitude, more cave practice, more solitude practice, then choose the solitude realizance path. You see. So then the practice of the three principal aspect path, you get that from learning true truth. You see. So the main teaching that we must study from the teachings of the middle capable beings path is study on the true truth, the conventional truth and ultimate truth. By learning the conventional truth well, you gain genuine renunciation out of it. Because learning well about how the world exists, by force of karma and delusion, how complicated the world is, how complicated the conventional aggregates that we carry. Our body is so complicated, isn't it? Our mind is so complicated. Our emotions so complicated. All these are learning about the conventional reality of self, the world. You see, then from there you also have the basis to learn about the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth. You see. Then you adopt the 2 parts, the wisdom aspect of the path and the method aspect of the path. So learning conventional truth, then you will cause or will result to actualize method aspect of the path, which is compassion, love, kindness. So the suffering of the world. The limitations of the world. you know the limitation of yourself and others. You see, at least you know the limitation of your world, your body, your mind, your environment. Then you tend to develop compassion to yourself. I want to be, I need to be free from this contamination, this samsara, and I need to cause it. So that is the heart of compassion, isn't it? So learning well about conventional truth will cause us to actualize the attitude of love, compassion, kindness, etc. Then learning the ultimate truth, it will cause us to develop the wisdom of the ultimate the third principle as well part, the wisdom of selfless. Then you realize, I really need to know, I really need to find an antidote to overcome. There's so much suffering in my world, and that is nothing other than wisdom of selfless, isn't it? Wisdom of emptiness on the self. That is the one that will overcome. So then you actualize the three principal aspects of heart. So you learn about that, and you also learn, the Four Noble Truth, which is the Four Noble Truth, including of the practice of refuge, are the common path to small capable, middle capable being, higher capable beings. You see, but refuge is mainly to the small capable being. True truth, Four Noble Truth, then the teachings on the 12 links of interdependent rising are the main part of middle capable being, but it's common to all the capable beings part. Okay, so you learn about that. You at least have an idea, this is common part, but it's a main part of middle capable being. So then when you learn the Four Noble Truth, then there are the 16 aspects of the Four Noble Truth, such as the four aspects to the truth of suffering, and 4 aspects truth of cause of suffering, then 4 to the truth of cessation, 4 to the truth of the path, you see. So then, like such as the truth of suffering, an example, the impermanent characteristic, you see, mita dunge tong dame, mita dunge tong dame. Mita one means impermanent, tong means selfless, tong means mita. The second one is suffering. Mita dunge. Second one is suffering. Third one is selfless. Mita dunge tong. Third one is empty. The third one is selfless. Mita dunge tong dame. This is the 4 attribute or 4 characteristic of the first noble truth. So each noble truth carry 4 characteristics. So you will learn well about the Four Noble Truth through the definition of the Four Noble Truth. The definition is nothing other than the 4 characteristic attribute to each of the Noble Truth. So you learn about that, Then from there, you actualize 3 principal aspects of the path. Then train in that. Is it like that? Then traveling of interdependent rising. You see, you learn all the traveling, how the ignorant, bring about rest of the traveling. You see, then you learn the reverse way. By stopping ignorant, then you stop entire traveling of interdependent rising. You also learn by stopping the traveling, then what are the opportunity, what are the results that you achieved? You learn about, higher rebirth in the human realm, God realm, then in a God realm, formless God realm, form God realm, etc., etc. Then if you indulge with the traveling, then such as suffering in the 3 lower realms and suffering in the 6 realms. So you learn about that. You learn about the traveling in the dependent rising. So then again from there, you gain a genuine renunciation, genuine attitude of heart of compassion, heart of compassion, loving kindness, etc. Then genuine wisdom of emptiness. You see, so this is like that. Then after that, then you move on to the higher capable beings part. So their main study is the study on the Bodhisattva's path. Very much learn the tools to develop altruism, to develop bodhicitta. So there are 2 major techniques, and Lama Tsongkhapa suggests the third one, You see, the two major techniques is, learn to develop bodhicitta based on the seven causes and effect. That technique blessed through, Lama Atisha, to Selingpa, and to Asanga, to the Maitreya. Then 4-point self-exchanging with other. 4-point self-exchanging with other. So that training, the blessings comes from, again, Atisha, Selingpa, then Shantideva, Nagarjuna, Manjushri, like that, you see. So you learn about what are the 6 causes. You learn about what are the preconditions in order to train on this 7 cause and effect and 4-point training. So the precondition is first learn about how to train oneself, the immeasurable equanimity and the immeasurable compassion. First you learn about how to train your mind in immeasurable compassion and immeasurable equanimity by overcoming the 3 partial attitudes of attachment, aversion, and ignorance to the 3 different kind of people. Then after that, you learn about, the 6 causes, recognizing all sentient beings as your mother, remembering their kindness, repaying their kindness, then training in compassion, training in great compassion, training in great love, and then training in the special, the courageous commitment heart called Haksam. Then from there, then you will develop bodhicitta. But then what that bodhicitta is, you learn about the definition of the bodhicitta. The bodhicitta, what it means by bodhicitta. So bodhicitta carries the two aspects of attitude. The first aspect of the attitude is oneself wanting to actualize state of full enlightenment. That also for the benefit of numberless sentient beings enlightenment. So you learn the definition so that then you know exactly what kind of heart that you will develop, isn't it? So then if you train from the other tradition, then the 4-point self-exchanging with other. So first, learn how to train into the true preliminary training. Then after that, then train in the heart of, see all the flaw, see all the disadvantage of self-cherishing attitude. So you need to learn. The teaching have emphasized so many examples, and there are a lot of quotations from Buddha's various teachings, like such as all the misery is comes from by cherishing self-centered purpose or self-happiness. All the happiness comes from cherishing others, like that, an example. So there are many quotations, many teaching that you can study. When you look into Lamrim, you study, Lama Tsongkhapa cited all those major texts into teaching. So you learn about that. Then you also, have your own experiential kind of examples to prove, self-cherishing is the causes of all the suffering, like that. Then the second point to learn about the disadvantage of, the advantage of cherishing rather than other. Then third one is, the first one is neutralizing. Second one is, seeing the flow, seeing the disadvantage of self-cherishing. Third one is seeing the advantage of cherishing others' well-being. Then the fourth one is actually self-exchanging with others. Then the result will be bodhicitta. So if you, first you check which one is more comfortable to you, then train using one of those, guidelines. But even if you train using the first method, when you achieve bodhicitta, you also achieve the training of the other one. So like that. Then Lama Tsongkhapa suggests you can train combining both. So do the preliminary training. Then after that, you train from the 7 cause and effect all the way up to the number 5. Then you move to the 4 points self-exchanging with other. When you complete the 4, you move to the number 6 from the 7 cause and effect training. Then after that, you can supplement. Still bodhicitta is not developed. Then you adopt one supplementary practice, which is the Tonglen practice of taking and giving. then bodhicitta will naturally arrive like that. So even if you train single, one of the traditional training, the Tonglen practice is recommended as a supplementary practice. So like that. Okay. Then after that, then very much living in the practice of sixth perfection. So from very beginning to the end until you become Buddha is to learn the practice on the sixth perfection. So such an example, the perfections on morality. So perfection of morality, you can learn about the morality, morality of abstaining from all the harms, morality of gathering all the virtues. You see, so just not learning morality of abstaining from all the harm, not good enough. You also learn morality of gathering all the virtues. So then you learn about what are the virtues. There are so many virtues. Abstain from all the misdeeds, but there are so many misdeeds. Then the third one is a morality to benefit sentient being. Wow, unbelievable. Morality. There are morality to benefit sentient. So is it not just no morality, but actually there are three types of morality. Then three types of generosity. Three types of joyous effort. Three types of patience. Three types of concentration. Three types of wisdom. So you learn all this. All this. So you learn all this. Then eventually you learn until that. Okay, now I want to be committed practitioner. Then you learn. Then you commit to take Bodhisattva vow. You see. So before you take the Bodhisattva vow, you at least go through certain understanding of it. It's not easy. So you learn about the 18 root vows. What are the 18 root vows? What are the 46 secondary root vows? 46 secondary vows. So you learn about that. You learn about its benefit. Wow. So many things to learn. So learn. Then after that, then just invest your life living in the practice of six paramita, living in the practice of Bodhisattva's conduct, Bodhisattva's way of life, meaning living in the practice of six paramita. You see, when you say practice Bodhisattva vow, meaning living the life in Bodhisattva's way of life, living the life in practice of six paramita. You see, so like that. So then Bodhisattva vow, also there's the aspiring Bodhisattva vow. So if you are not ready to commit completely, at least you take the aspiring Bodhisattva vow. So you train in your motivation first. Then after that, okay, now I can commit in action. Then you can engaging Bodhisattva vow. So you learn and you take all of them, like that. Then from there, you develop three principal aspects of the path. The renunciation, not only about concern of your suffering, but renunciation concern all sentient beings suffering. Not only develop the attitude like just a compassion, but you develop great compassion, and that also fully matured compassion, which is called bodhicitta. How wonderful, isn't it? Then the wisdom also, not just develop wisdom of selflessness of person, but then now you start to develop the wisdom of selflessness of phenomena. Now you develop the greatest wisdom of emptiness. You see. So then you gradually adopting the practice of Bodhisattva precept, adopting the practice of six paramita. You gradually become Bodhisattva. Then you learn. Once you become Bodhisattva, the job is not done yet. So there's a 5 paths to travel, and then 10 bhumis to climb up. Then you're good to learn about what are the 5 paths, and what about the 10 bhumis, So the 5 paths: path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of normal learning. So 3 earlier paths, the path of training. The last one is path in the Buddha realm. You see. So then path of accumulation has 3 levels. Path of preparation has 4 levels. Path of seeing has many categories. So then where the bhumi start? You have a question. Bhumi start from path of seeing onward, 3rd path onward. Or then what kind of job the Bodhisattva does in the bhumis? So that along the bhumi is the main job of the Bodhisattva actually start there. Until then, we are very much working on preparations only. You see, so from the path of seeing onward, first bhumi onward, then now utilize the greatest attitude and the greatest three principle aspect path there. Now you utilize the three path. You see, you have this unbelievable, stable, indestructible, never degenerating renunciation, which means path. The definition of path is called renunciation. Now you have the greatest renunciation. In the earlier path, sometimes you may give up. Halfway you may what you call the you may share your path. But once you achieve the path of seeing, then you will never degenerate your path. You see, so on the basis of that strong renunciation of the path, then during so it's along the bhumi, very much divided into two aspects of activities. One is session, another one post session. So the Bodhisattva live in this two way of lifestyle. Either you are meditating, or either you are in a post meditation. You are performing activities. So during the post meditation, they utilize the highest level of attitude, the highest strength of bodhicitta to accumulate merit by actively being in the practice of six paramita, working for the sentient beings. Then there they gather unbelievable stores of merit. Then once they have enough merit, they go into meditation. When they go into meditation, they utilize the most concentrated, the highest level of wisdom of emptiness as an antidote to negate the negation, which is the defilement. So the defilements are very much like a cake cut into 9 pieces. The nine level of defilement from gross to subtle. Then there they go into 9 level of meditation session. They apply 9 level of antidotes. You see, so each bhumi developed to the next bhumi, the strength of attitude, bodhicitta, the strength of wisdom, emptiness, the strength of the meditation increases. You see, due to that, the negation from gross to subtle start to eliminate. You see, so in the session, first you go into meditation, meditate equipoise, which is direct realization on emptiness, meditate equipoise. Then open on to the. So maybe we can talk this later. It's already time over. So anyway, like that. Then they reach to the 10 bhumi. The last moment of the 10 bhumi is the meditative equipoise, eliminating the subtlest defilement. Then when that moment, transit to part of normal learning, which is also state of meditative equipoise, then you actualize Buddhahood. And there, entire your study of Dharma complete. Then now we go for post session of lunch. So this is a brief, approach to the study of Lamrim, I would say. Thank you. Oh yes, that's wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Those in the Zoom don't know your time zone. Maybe you are going to have your dinner, your supper, your sleep, or whatever. So we do the food offering, okay? But then all of you can join us here to make this food offering that which is ready for the lunch. Yeah. So we offer this to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all the gurus, and also make charity to all the sentient beings, starting from the 84,000 living beings in our body. So we, as said in the prayers, we do not consume the food because of attachment to the taste, the color, and the hunger. We also don't eat the food just to fill our stomach, just to sustain this body, just to have this life, not just that. We consume the food to sustain this body, so that our body can use as a vehicle to be in the service of all sentient beings happens, and to practice, to practice the lam-rim, to practice the Dharma. Then fulfill the ultimate benefit, starting from the 84,000 living beings in our body and rest of the other sentient beings. Just like the Buddha's previous life, the great-hearted Bodhisattva, make charity of his flesh to the 5 tigers family. There he made aspiration, by consuming this material gift, when I actualize, when I come and turn the wheel of Dharma, may you be the first disciple to receive the Dharma nectar and actualize liberation right there. Similar way, when we consume the food, we also generate the similar thought by making charity of this food to these 84,000 living beings in our body, and may this each and every single being, be the first disciple when I turn the wheel of Dharma, and right there cause their liberation. Thank you, Luce. Thank you.